This was an incredible event.
And I highly recommend Roofr.
Welcome back, everybody, to this edition of Speaker Spotlight for Rise, a Roofr Roadshow. I'm joined today with Keren Newman, and we're going to find out a little bit more about her in just a minute, but she's going to be one of our speakers in Charlotte, North Carolina, coming up at the end of this month. And I just wanted to say thank you for being on today, Keren, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so it's Keren.
Keren, I messed it up
okay.
even
Like
though I
the
told
Japanese beer.
Keren, my bad.
2 E's instead of 2 I's. Anyway, General Manager, Eastern Roof Technologies here in Mooresville, North Carolina, which is just about 30 miles north of Charlotte, around the Lake Norman area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. What kind of business do you guys do? Do you do mostly residential, commercial, a little bit of both?
Yeah, we do mostly residential. Well, all residential. We do multifamily too. We've done apartment complexes, townhomes, condos, all that kind of stuff as well.
Sure.
But all shingle work, and then of course standing seam metal.
Nice. Yeah, that metal stuff specialty. Not a lot of people can do that, so that's good that you guys do it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your company. How big is it?
Well, we've got right now about 10 employees or team members, I like to call them, including myself. Always looking to add to them.
Yeah.
Always hiring for sales, outside sales, always. And looking to grow beyond that. Probably I'd like to be at, I would say 16 by the end of next year. Total.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Trying to scale like everybody else is these days, right?
Yeah.
So with work-life balance, a lot of we were just talking about what your son likes to do. He said fly fishing. Tell me something that you like to do on your time that's not roofing.
Yeah. Well, I love traveling. I love flying in airplanes, commercial, of course. But yeah, I love to travel. Even driving. I actually flew out to Idaho to get my son, and we drove back together cross country through the Badlands and all that. So that was a lot of fun. My grandfather built a cabin up in the North Carolina mountains about 50, 60 years ago. So I like to go up there and unplug. It's less than 2 hours away for a drive, so that's nice. And I love vacationing in Mexico.
Nice, no doubt. You can have the rest of my flights this year for sure. I've been on just over 100 flights this year, so man, I sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I got to get back on the airplane again.
Yeah, so, I might not feel that way if I was flying 100 times a year.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe not. I don't know. But who's somebody that you look up to and why?
Quite honestly, I just, in the past 3 years, kind of reached out to a bunch of people in the industry. I got to the point in my business where I was kind of feeling like I had no idea what I was doing anymore. Sure. I didn't know how to scale it, didn't know how to grow, kind of felt like I didn't know what I was doing. So I just started reaching out to a ton of people. And through that network, I actually got connected with Elizabeth Calzadillo, which I know you guys are very good friends, and went to her roofing process seminar last May. And quite honestly, she's pretty amazing. Just her whole story. I'm not going to go into the details of it. She and Jim Silver both are like two people that I would love to get to know better, just because they're both single moms, basically, who have made it in this industry, which is not, or just making it career-wise anyway, but in this industry too, is just pretty inspirational.
There would be no way that I could just do all of what I do nowadays as a single person. I can't imagine what it would be like. Thank goodness I have Karina, because I travel so much. I'd be in a different place doing something different than what I do now.
Yeah.
So shout out to the single moms out there and
That's
single
right.
dads.
That's right.
So let's dive into a little bit about your business and talk about some of the kinds of marketing that you're doing. Are you guys doing anything with your organic social media or organic postings?
Yeah, we post on our Facebook probably, gosh, at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to add some video content to all of that and adding more to our YouTube channel here in the near future. I'm putting a studio in our office so that I can cut and edit more video content for our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our website as well. When we first started, the owner of the company is a former insurance agent. So having seen, he saw that side of the industry and then decided that he wanted to, he got burnt out, I guess, on that, and decided he wanted to provide an opportunity or a kind of a choice for people on the other side of the industry. And so when we first started, we actually were marketing to insurance agents because we knew how claims affected their side of the business.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be a contractor who only filed an insurance claim on damage that was going to be approved for a replacement. But so now we're kind of marketing elsewhere, in community involvement. I do advertise in a local magazine that's kind of for and by the community people, as well as just networking and being a part of BNI groups and different networking groups and chambers and all that. We have a pretty big referral network here in our community because we've been here for 11 years. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And we're working right now digital marketing wise with Business 411 to build that out and seeing some results there, which is really nice.
Nice. Well, if you see the logo right in the middle, the world's greatest roofer logo, Liz was the very first person to ever create that logo for me when I started in this. When I became social media famous, and I always thank her for that because I've not changed that logo ever since she made it. So
yeah,
but except for changed it to the blue color for Roofr for sure. But Business 411 is great. But yeah, no, the marketing to the insurance agents is a great tool. I've been working together with Matt Danskin, who owns Builders Expert Institute, and then he also owns Restoration Referral Network. For quite some time. I was one of his first teams that he trained on how to go in and sell to insurance agents. And I always find it fascinating to get those leads directly from, those people where you don't have to worry about going door to door or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So are you guys finding it hard to make sales this past year or up until now?
Not really.
Yeah.
The bottom line is it's a necessity. People need a roof. If it's leaking, it has to be addressed. Yeah. People are remodeling their kitchens, remodeling their bathrooms, which is not required, but they want to do it. But when it's a roof, it has to be done. It protects everything else beneath it.
Yeah.
So we haven't really seen a major slowdown, even with inflation and whatnot. It's just, if you need it, you need it. And we just figure out a way to work it in your budget,
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys typically do a lot of retail or insurance work? What's your niche there?
Both. Retail and and it's always great if the insurance can subsidize it.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you guys using financing or
we do?
Yeah, nice.
We do offer financing through a couple different places. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I love that a lot more of the roofing companies out there today are offering that financing option, and it just makes so much sense. But I love that about that side of the industry. What is something that you tell your team to stay motivated to go get more sales or to help grow them?
Really, our mentality, just in general as a company, is we're just here to solve people's problems.
Sure.
We're just solving problems. It's not that hard to motivate people, to just go out there and identify a need.
Yeah.
And help people. That's really what we want to do.
For sure.
That, and then just it's a necessity. You're not out there trying to sell something somebody doesn't need.
Right.
which makes it a lot easier to feel kind of good about it, I guess.
I tried to sell vacuum cleaners once and it didn't go very well. So I think it was about 20 years ago. but then I
And who you
became a
tried to
cop.
sell them to?
Oh man, back in the old days in the newspaper, they had a little thing where they cut it out and they it was like get a free bottle of it was a liter of Pepsi or something like that, and I'd have to pack my car full of Pepsis to go sell vacuum cleaners. I never sold any vacuum cleaners.
Gave a lot of Pepsi away.
I gave a lot of Pepsi away though. But no, then I was like, well, I can't do this, so I became a cop. So
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
That's a big flip there.
Yeah, no doubt. So, but no, selling door to door is easy for me now, or selling business to business. But for years I had to learn that sales are just like you said, it's something that people need, and they don't want their roof leaking on their head while they're trying to sleep, or anywhere in their house. Really, like I can't imagine what it would be like if I had a leak in my house now. But tell me how you're educating your team. You guys do weekly trainings, monthly trainings?
We do weekly trainings. We actually work with one of the top sales training companies in the nation. We've engaged with them, so they do weekly training, and then they have a bunch of e-learning courses online, as well as we do weekly kind of role play and focus training on specific kind of tactical sales areas that a team member might be needing development in, or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's always something that I've always pushed for in any organization that I've worked in, is to get as much training in at least weekly. It's needed. And I used to be the one that would call out to all of the experts out in the roofing industry and be like, hey, I need you for an hour, and hope that they would say yes.
Yeah.
So they would give it. But so tell me, do you guys use a lot of technology in your company? Or are you guys still using paper to write everything down? What are you guys doing to improve your technology stance?
Yeah, we implement as much technology as we can, kind of as possible. So we do use AccuLinks, and that there are a lot of tools in there, and we're constantly kind of digging deeper into that CRM to find more tools to implement.
Yeah.
As well as we just recently put into place Sales Rabbit because we do Canvas. So to track all that canvassing so that we don't miss people if they're not home, we can always go back.
Sure.
So those are the two main pieces of technology that we use. We also do the majority of our initial inspections via drone.
Oh, awesome.
Safety first. I'd much rather my people stay on the ground. And with the drone technology today, you can see what you need to see. And it's great for an initial inspection, if nothing else.
Yeah, no doubt. I really support the drones being used for damage detection. I was one of the first people in the roofing industry that was a part of getting roofers to actually use drones back in like 2015. And it was back when we were using those Phantom 3, like the big helicopter drones that really sucked whenever they took off and they never landed properly.
We had a few of those that we whiskey throttled into the lake or into a tree.
Yeah, speaking of that, I was back in a few years ago, probably 2018. I was with Matthew Danskin, like I was just talking about, back when he was still selling roofs, and he's like, TJ, I've got this apartment complex. You're the only person I know with a drone. So we go out there to fly this drone, and it flies right into a tree, like it took off straight for the tree. And that was the end of that drone, and now it's still sitting up on my ledge over there. That's the first drone that I ever crashed, and the last drone I ever crashed. So but no, technology is great. I'm glad to see you're using that. Roofr CRM's coming out. We've been in beta testing it for quite some time, so excited for us to get out there on the CRM front, and then also release our other new tools on that portion. So how much would you say technology has changed the roofing industry, or how we do business as an industry?
Coming from somebody who did all of our original estimates on a spreadsheet.
Sure. Excel spreadsheet roofers.
Yeah. And I even did them where like salespeople could put in quantities and then it would spit the price out for them, but they wouldn't see all the back end stuff.
For sure.
So anyway, it's made everything so much easier and faster at your fingertips. I mean, you can run an estimate or even create a inspection report in your car.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, no doubt. We like to be able to do that with our sales proposals. A lot of times people will just do it right in the driveway or right in the home of somebody's house now, where they can, before it would take me 20, 30 minutes to look over the measurement report, write everything down, and then go back in the house. Now you could just do it right in front of that homeowner.
Yeah.
So it's technology's really moved forward. So tell me what's next for your company.
Next for our company, I'd like to scale, like I said, get a few more team members. And then ultimately I'd really like to open another, like a satellite branch somewhere else in the state of North Carolina. I want it to be close enough so that here at the headquarters can get there within an hour or two, get to them within an hour or two, so that we can still support them and manage everything through the headquarters. So that would be more of a sales / production branch. But yeah, that's kind of the way I'd like to scale.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. Well, we've been talking now almost 20 minutes. I told you earlier that this would be the fastest 20 minutes of your day. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to give us all a piece of advice, or somebody that might be new. I know that you were just talking about the single moms. If you were to give somebody a word of wisdom, what would it be?
Yeah, like I said earlier, a few years ago, I was sitting here, like not in this particular office, but in my office, like, I don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I had a turnover of sales reps, and I was like, I don't even know how to run this business. So I just started Googling every podcast I could find that had the word roofing in it. And I started listening to all of those. And then at the end of one of them, I was like, one of the people on there was like, yeah, just hit me up via Instagram, message me, whatever. And I thought, no way these people actually have time to talk to little old me. And it's funny because people like you and Liz and all these people out there in the industry who are interviewed on these podcasts, you think they're celebrities because you hear them on 5 different podcasts, but they do have time to talk to you. So don't hesitate to ask for help.
Yeah.
And reach out to whoever speaks to you, because surprisingly, even though as far as roofing contractors go, we think we're all competing with each other, but we're all in the same game, and we're all actually here to help people and like helping people. So I have found that it's surprising how open and kind of everybody will be with their way. They'll share their kind of special sauce or whatever.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of times people are like, you mean to tell me you're approachable? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just like you. I just got a lot to do. I work a lot. So, but not, you please feel free to call me. I'll give you my cell phone number. Right. But that's the same way with everybody in this industry, from Adam Bensman to Liz to myself to, other people that do this every day, where we seem like we're in the spotlight. Right. But really, we're just trying to help other roofers grow just like we did, because we want everybody to be successful. Only 20% of us make it past 5 years. So let's do what we can to support everybody. But if you want to give anybody else a shout out, or give Rise a shout out before I let you off the.
I'm so excited and so honored to be a part of it. I'm really excited to be there November 1st, and just thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. I'm looking forward to it as well. And I'll be letting everybody know here in just a second where we'll be. But I'm looking forward to meeting you in person and talking with you. But thank you so much for saying yes to me, because I haven't had anybody say no yet, but I can't imagine what it would be like to say no to me. So but thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you on November 1st in Charlotte. And everybody say thank you to Keren for being here today. But Keren, if you'll hold on 1 second, I'm going to put you in the back, and then I'll be right back to talk with you. So you guys saw it here today. Keren Newman, she's going to be one of our speakers at Rise, the Roofr Roadshow in Charlotte, North Carolina, coming up on November 1st. But we will be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Savannah, Georgia, San Antonio, Texas as well. So we'll be doing 4 more cities at the end of this year. Just like the first of this year, we did 6 cities. It's a half-day event, or I say 3/4 of a day, from like 11 a.m. until about 5:30 in the afternoon. And you'll get to hear from people like Elizabeth Calzadilla, Bob Marsh. Hunter Ballou will actually be one of the speakers in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we'll have tons of great influencer types that'll be there in attendance. So if you want to get your tickets today, if you see right at the bottom of your screen, get your tickets at roofr.com/rise, ROOFR.com/rise. And you'll and get your tickets for $25. It's the easiest $25 to spend. The only reason we're doing that is because we don't like to buy food and then waste it. So we want to make sure that you're going to be there. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys coming up real soon in a couple weeks. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll be doing about 16 more of these live broadcasts. So I'll see you real soon.
This was an incredible event.
And I highly recommend Roofr.